Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
A brand new Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Friday begins now. Wrestling fans, years have become months that have become weeks, and now we're talking days and even hours as Boston Wrestling MWF celebrates its 20th anniversary, going back to the 90s. Saturday night, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. The superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow will take part in a live wrestling event, autograph photo, fan fest, VIP exclusive Q&A, plus the kickoff to our annual Paul Bear Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. After Jimmy Kimmel embarrassed Melrose for, well, being Melrose, we're also going to have a superstar costume contest where best dressed wins an awesome autographed prize. On November the 13th, you'll see and meet two-time WWE World Champion and Hall of Famer Bob Backlund, WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke, WWE Hall of Famer Alundra Blayze, a.k.a. Medusa, from WCW, WWE Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion Marty Jannetty, the Doctor of Style Slick, Doink The Clown, Duke the Dumpster Droese, Portuguese Man of War Aldo Montoya, plus two-time Impact Wrestling World Champion Die Hard Eddie Edwards, JTG of Cryme Time, John Cena Sr., Oscar of Men on a Mission, AEW's Jora Joe, and more. VIP packages and tickets are on sale now at BostonWrestling.com. We'll see you live November the 13th. Tickets are on sale now for our 20th anniversary Back to the 80s and 90s WrestleFest Birthday Bash, Saturday, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
All right, wrestling fans, the countdown is on to Boston Wrestling MWF's 20th anniversary. Back to the 90s bash, Johnny. We're talking come midnight in about an hour. We'll technically be a week away.
We're almost there.
It was a big night on SmackDown, a big night on AEW Rampage, but if you want to talk about big nights, if you're in the Northeast, Saturday night, November the 13th, it is going to be a happening, folks. Live in-ring action, autograph photo fan fest, VIP question and answer session, the kickoff to the Paul Bear Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. We're going to have a mega jackpot raffle for one lucky winner. We're going to have some silent auctions with some great items that our friends at WWE have sent along, and there'll be Fabo Pop.
Everybody pops for Fabo Pop.
And that's what she said. It is an event 2 decades in the making, fans. Again, remaining VIP packages and tickets are on sale now at BostonWrestling.com. As of the time we tape this, the VIPs are about 80% gone, Johnny.
Wow.
So, you know what? It's going to be a hot night in Melrose no matter what the temperature is outside.
Let's do it. It's going to be cold.
Well, geez, Captain Encouragement over there. How do you know it's going to be cold? It's 8 days away.
I have a 10-day forecast.
Oh, the Fabo phone. All right, Johnny. A lot to talk about. I know a lot of, funny enough, almost a small blip in fan response and viewership and whatnot have been interested in our banter about Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, Florida. I know you and I both made it down. We both survived. Jack the Clown down there. I know some have said there's an individual at Memorial Hall that looks somewhat like Jack the Clown. That's a different story for a different time. But what was your impression of I don't know how many you've been to, but I know you've been somewhat of a regular at Halloween Horror Nights.
I try to make it down there every single year. They've been at it 30 years. I think I've been down there probably maybe 14.
Really?
14 Halloween Horror Nights.
You know what? I don't think I've ever asked you. What made you go the first time? You saw a commercial? Or?
I saw a commercial. I wanted to go all the time. I just never took the time to do anything for me. Oh. So I said, you know what? I'm going down, and I'm going to see what this is all about. I stayed across the street at a Hyatt. I didn't stay inside the park.
Okay.
So I walked over, and that's what taught me the lesson to buy the RIP pass.
RIP, not VIP.
Because I waited to get into The Shining was 2-hour wait, and I'll never do that again.
Who did you go with the first time?
Me.
You went alone?
Me.
Really?
Yep.
Isn't that interesting? Well,
Yep.
you did kind of go through kind of an interesting fresh coat of paint in your world at a certain point, but that's your
was
story
rough.
to tell. But I tell you, what an experience, Johnny, especially the first night, for me to be able to take both of the little Marathis at one whack. It was just great memories. We had, here's my mistake. And I told you, I went, and I'm glad Linda doesn't know just how big, but I went over the top getting those VIP passes so we didn't have to wait in line.
Should have gone the RIP.
Well, the RIP, the only really difference was you had a tour guide. This way we were able to go.
Had the tour guide, you get the free meal, you get the 2 shows. You get a lot of bonuses with the RIP. People were in line with me this year that it was their first time with the RIP. They all said the same thing. I had the VIP before. I'll never do VIP again. Even folks who work at the hotel, they get the discount, remembered me from staying at the Royal Pacific. And we're in line, and they're all going, you know me. I said, yep, no more VIP. We get a discount, but it's RIP all the way. There were like, I can count at least 10 members of the staff that I knew from upstairs at the Admiral's concierge floor and downstairs at the desks who were there on RIP. That says RIP is definitely worth the money. As a matter of fact, they asked me after I went through all these Halloween Horror Nights, PJ was the tour guide. PJ, like pajamas.
PJ Goodhue.
No, he was funny.
The Jews.
Scotty Tuhati was there.
Who?
Scotty Tuhati.
The same night as you?
Yep.
Oh, isn't that funny?
You walk right by, and in the business, you know how it goes. That's it. But the tour guide, hey, Scotty! It's like, no, you don't do that stuff. But they asked me if I were to create a Halloween Horror Night, what would I do? I said, I would hope next year they would listen to my suggestion and create a Halloween Horror Nights of past, present, and future. Do the 5 best houses for the past, which in my opinion, Scarecrow, The Shining, Amityville Horror, Halloween from beginning to end, and Chucky. Those were good haunted houses. Now for the present, that's up to you what you pick. And I've got a few ideas. And those around me in the tour guide said, you know, so-and-so works for this and that. I'm going to bring your idea to them if you don't mind. I said, even take credit for it. Just think of how that would sell. Because I'll be honest with you. For a 30-year celebration, I kind of thought it was a bit of a letdown.
I wouldn't know any better.
Well, okay, but that's great. I just have to say to you that for 30 years they've been doing this. You would have thought a 30-year would have knocked it out of the park. I mean, my favorite houses.
Should we give them a cheap plug?
I love it. Go ahead. I get 3 or 4 of those.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Well, you
must have been really thirsty.
Well, no, you get them free when you do what I do. You get them free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you know, I like the Pumpkin Lord. That was well done.
That was really good.
That was very well done. Beetlejuice. You know,
Johnny, was the floor moving when that thing was?
A little bit.
The kids looked at me like I was an idiot. I was holding on to the pole. I thought it was tipping sideways. I was holding on to the rail.
It was basically
going. Oh, it did turn a little bit
while it was spinning.
So there was some element of confusion.
I had to close my eyes.
I thought I was going to go down.
That's why I closed my eyes, because I have vertigo.
Oh, okay.
And
we're familiar with that.
So that was okay. But the Pumpkin Lord, right spot on.
Oh, that was really good.
The last Horror Night, the last RIP2 that I was on, where they had the Shrek. It was the
Shrek.
It was in the Shrek film.
That murder mystery
the
one.
Cases,
that was really
that was
good.
very well done. Well done. I don't know. You know, there are a couple. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I thought was a letdown.
Really?
I expected more out of that.
I really liked it, but I think I kind of agree with what you're saying. Maybe I was so excited for it, I was expecting a little more. I think that was the first one we did the first night, so maybe that's why.
Monique was so happy. She walked with the tour guide.
Did
He actually said she crushed my hand. That's how scared she was. Now she wants to go back.
Oh, good.
And I would recommend it. I know you'll be there next year. I have several friends that went down. They're going to be there next year. I will say this. They did so much hype on Jack the Clown I think
He wasn't really seen
no,
much.
they blew it at the end. Well, he was only there at the very end. That was
the
it.
end of the night?
No,
He was. Yeah, I saw him. He was at the end of one of the houses.
the houses.
He
That was
kinda-
it.
He was
that
sitting
was it.
up high. Yeah.
Right. With his friend, the doctor, who slices you up. The deal with Jack the Clown was he could appear anywhere, anytime in the scare zones. Never happened.
I never saw him in a scare zone.
Never happened. So I kind of think that was overworked because they plugged Jack the Clown, Jack the Clown, Jack the Clown. But all I can say is this to the fans out there: if you have never been, you gotta go.
Gotta go. If
And
you
you
like
know
horror
what?
stuff.
How about sometime? Think about this. MWF Boston Wrestling presents Halloween Horror Nights Tour. We'll take 15 people with us.
That might be fun. And you know, to give us an excuse to go an extra time.
It will be I'm game. I can't say enough.
I had the time of my life. You know, you're talking about RIP. I had the Simple Express pass to go along with the ticket for 3 people, and I dropped $900. So I would have rested in peace if I went even above and beyond that for what you were getting with your tour. I mean, but they do have simple general admission tickets that I think, depending upon the night you go, are as little as $70. So
Well, I can tell you this: that the night I was there, you had just left, 5,000 people. They were doing 3,000 to 5,000 people a night, and they were sold out. Because when I was in the hotel, I was talking to the young ladies that behind the counter, and I was talking about the RIP pass and all this stuff, and so he gets in line and he talks to the young lady. He said, he's pretty cool. He knows what he's talking about. He's always here. And he said, I'll take that. She said, it's sold out. You can't have it. Well, what night can I get it? It's sold out. You can't get it.
sold out for the whole
out, gone.
month?
Gone. Do you know that I had lucked out? I get it on Wednesday. That's the only night I could get it.
And I remember when you were buying it, because I remember you were here with your lady love.
Right.
Over at across the room over there in Studio B. But a great time was had by
Yes.
all. The second night we were there, you talk about, oh my, I was in maybe the mother of all rainstorms. I think maybe I texted you. And what was even worse was the humidity was so oppressive. When we'd walk out of the park, I couldn't see out of my glasses.
Yep.
It was pouring. I'm yelling at baby Marty, guide me in a way where there isn't a puddle, because I have to wear these. I'm slopping through these giant puddles. Linda's bitching. I mean, that was the horror. Maybe that was the most horror I had to experience. But after a couple of hours of that tsunami, it wasn't, excuse me, all that bad until maybe 10 o'clock. She went back to the hotel. Then me and the youngest one, we stayed for a couple of hours, and then
said you're gonna go
it
back.
started to rain again. But my mistake was with the VIP pass. I booked it the day we flew down. I should have never done that, because me and the little one were done. The oldest one, he was still ready to go, but I think we only did, even with the VIP, I think we only did 6 houses. We were so tired.
We did every single house.
Well,
We got
you've
the
got
show.
better stamina than I do.
We did on the meter that that little phone you got.
Yeah.
We did 29,328 steps.
I'd love to know how many steps I did.
And then she went, "Oh, my watch is broken because there's 2,004 steps. What happened?" I said, "Mo, it's 12:04. It's a brand new day."
New day.
So we did a lot of walking, had a lot of fun. I'm rip roaring to go for next year. I hope they take my suggestion and do the past, present,
They
future.
actually put me on some panel because I'm an annual pass holder, and I guess they liked my feedback. There's some woman emailed me and asked if I would be interested in contributing ideas, so I'll have to take what you said and give it to
I'm
them
on the
too.
panel.
You're on it
yeah,
too?
but I didn't renew my update my profile.
Oh, yeah.
So they whipped me off. I just got the thing. You're done.
Oh.
So I'm not. So go ahead.
All right, I'll have
Feel
to steal
free.
steal your thunder.
Please.
Have they ever, just out of curiosity, one of my favorites, have they ever done a Paranormal Activity one?
The Exorcist.
Well, that's different, but
It's paranormal.
it's paranormal, but it's not the actual Paranormal Activity movie.
No.
Okay.
They have never done that.
All
Never
right, well,
done that.
that might be a good one for
Well,
them,
there's a
too.
future, maybe.
I know they have a lot of licensing to do, but wrestling fans right now, we wanted to keep you up to date on our travels, as we both had a great time. I especially had a great time with the kids, even though I'll tell you this, when we were leaving, they tried to stop Linda. They said, "You work here." All right, we'll be back, wrestling fans, after this brief timeout. Head on over to BostonWrestling.com. Again, at the stroke of midnight, we're officially a week away from our 20th anniversary celebration, Memorial Hall in Melrose. Wrestling fans, years have become months that have become weeks, and now we're talking days and even hours as Boston Wrestling MWF celebrates its 20th anniversary, going back to the 90s. Saturday night, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. The superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow will take part in a live wrestling event, autograph photo, fan fest, VIP exclusive Q&A, plus the kickoff to our annual Paul Bear Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. After Jimmy Kimmel embarrassed Melrose for, well, being Melrose, we're also going to have a superstar costume contest where best dressed wins an awesome autographed prize. On November the 13th, you'll see and meet two-time WWE World Champion and Hall of Famer Bob Backlund, WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke, WWE Hall of Famer Alundra Blayze, a.k.a. Medusa, from WCW, WWE Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion Marty Jannetty, the Doctor of Style Slick, Doink The Clown, Duke the Dumpster Droese, Portuguese Man of War Aldo Montoya, plus two-time Impact Wrestling World Champion Die Hard Eddie Edwards, JTG of Cryme Time, Cena Sr, Oscar of Men on a Mission, AEW's Jora Joe, and more. VIP packages and tickets are on sale now at BostonWrestling.com. We'll see you live November the 13th. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
On October 28, 2020, Wrestling's Scariest Night was back with WWE NXT Halloween Havoc. This limited edition collector's autograph poster is number 12 of only 100 produced and is signed by all 9 superstars featured on the poster, including Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, Dexter Lumis, Cameron Grimes, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez, and your Halloween Havoc host, Shotzi Blackheart. Comes with WWE authentication hologram on the back. You'll also receive an on-air thank you from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas and a bonus mystery autograph photo. Help keep wrestling legends working. Get this awesome collectible now. Wrestling fans, especially here in the Boston area, we want to thank our great friends at Red Rose for their support for all of our charitable endeavors and programming efforts. Red Rose is 2 years young and extremely thankful for all the support they've had from our neighbors here in Melrose and beyond for an amazing first 2 years. Red Rose thanks Melrose and all of the first responders who have fought the good fight and have never given up hope during these unprecedented times. We did it together. Follow Red Rose on Facebook for their anniversary special, facebook.com/Red Rose Melrose. You'll be glad you did. Open until 2 a.m. Red Rose will give you fresh, piping hot, mouth-watering food that'll put an ear-to-ear smile on even the toughest critic's face. Check out their full menu online at redrosema.com or give them a call, 781-620-1889.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back, Johnny. From what I'm hearing, I don't want anyone to be trespassed down at Memorial Hall, but I understand they're already putting up tents. They want to be the first one into our 20th anniversary extravaganza next Saturday night, November the 13th. They want to be the first for the VIP Q&A. They want to be the first for the autograph photo fan fest. That big group photo, you talk about social media credibility, to have your photo taken with 8 90s legends at the same time, never mind the hot in-ring action. I think that's one thing the fans are overlooking, is what's going to be happening in the ring once that bell rings. I mean, we got some top-notch athletes coming from all over the country ready to compete and go balls to the wall as we kick off decade number 3.
What time does the wrestling start?
I believe 6:30.
Wow.
Check out
10:30?
BostonWrestling.com for complete information on that. I could be off by a hair, but I do know that it'll conclude just before 10 o'clock. Because Jack the Clown will come out. And that Jack the Clown certainly can be anywhere, anytime. Tootie, better watch out, because Mrs. Garrett she cracks a whip. But anyway, Johnny, sad to say, I don't want to make light of it because it has cost a lot of people their job, but one company that is not going to see decade number 3, it looks like, is Ring of Honor.
certainly going through bad news all around. What they're calling reimagining. I think you and I are smart enough to realize is what it is. It's not going to be long for the universe.
They're gone.
It reminds me a lot of what was going down with ECW when it went out of business in 2001, 2001, as I kind of had a front row seat to that, because that was during the time I spent working with Ed Cohen in WWE. So as WCW was falling apart, as ECW was falling apart, and WWF was having some of its greatest success ever, it was a very unique period of time to be working, you know, in the industry, as opposed to, not that we don't now, but to be, you know, officially involved with WWF at that level at that point, to see what was going on with the other major league companies. I think for Ring of Honor to say after WrestleMania, they're going to run a couple of events between now and WrestleMania weekend, then try and promote pay-per-views with independent talent that's not under contract, how do you have a champion?
Can't.
You can't. I mean, I think people have to be realistic that...
You can't.
You know, it's sad. They gave... No. I almost was going to say they gave it their best. I have two different trains of thought on that. The athletes gave it their best. The athletes went balls to the wall each and every time out. Sinclair Broadcasting should be ashamed of themselves that they invested so little in their product. This is a company that has more money than WWE. You know, they never even gave that company a shot by giving it a time slot at the same day, the same time every week, like you see with the other national wrestling promotions. They should have been AEW. All of those superstars that went over on top of AEW when that promotion kicked off all came from Ring of Honor at virtually the same time.
Well,
other than Jericho.
You can see everybody is so happy to get out of the company, get released out of their contracts. It's like they can see the handwriting on the wall. And I think what happened with Ring of Honor, they grew too fast, too quick.
I don't think, I completely disagree with you.
Well,
I don't think they ever really grew.
Well, they did. They started out as a local indie presentation, wrestling show. Then they went that next level where we have the biggest and best talent. Then they went to their TV. I think that, you know what, and a lot of people like Brian Malonis, Todd Hansen, our friends, people we've worked with, there's so much good talent there that when this does happen, forget the re-imaging and re-bringing together, there's going to be so much to select from out there. I hope that these young men, and now's a good time to start the fabulous world of women's wrestling, because there's going to be a ton of talent
a lot of women's wrestlers out there, yeah.
Yep, and I just wish them all the best, because they have worked so diligently and hard to put over a product that was difficult at best to put over. They beat all the odds. And I'm not being facetious when I say that they bing, 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 bing. They thought they were the best. I mean, they were on the wrestling sites. Wow, how come we're not on the wrestling sites? You know, announcing our 20th anniversary. So they really went all the way. However, when you try to go that fast, that quick, and you don't
Johnny,
have...
let's not go too far now. They've been in business 19 years.
I understand that.
Oh, okay.
But when you have the parent not supporting the child, usually something goes wrong. And that's exactly... I'm basically backing up what you said.
Yeah, you know, you're right. It did start basically as a regional independent, as a way to try and sell videotapes after ECW went under. It was kind of emulated off of an independent tournament that took place in California with some of the great talent at the time. I believe Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe, and those types were involved. And it was certainly a cult favorite for many years before it almost went out of business in 2004 when the former owner, Rob Feinstein, was found as part of that sex sting. I still don't understand why people want to engage with him, but, you know, everybody has different levels of characters and morals, I guess. But anyway, you know, for them to survive that was a great thing. They hung on until finally Sinclair Broadcasting, you know, gave them the rope. And you'd think, my God, again, here is a company, more money than WWF, television channels all over the country, and they never really did anything to prop them up. No. If anything, they kept them level and then led to a decline. And I think that's sad. I think the athletes, the great professional wrestlers that they've had under contract, deserved a better fate, and they deserved a better platform to compete on.
I agree 100%. 100%. You know, they reached that pinnacle. They started out, they grew, they grew, they grew. We're good, we're better, we're better, we're better. They get to that point where they can say we're good, we're better, not the best. I was not a fan. And all of a sudden, Daddy says, hold on. It's sad. It's sad. But you know what? Maybe you talk to Dr. David Reese, and maybe that all becomes part of Boston Wrestling.
Well, I don't think we could afford that, but it does bring up a very interesting question. What do you think that video library is worth, and who is it worth the most to? WWE, they're willing to pay a certain price for footage, and that's that. AEW, I'm sure, is going to want to get into the streaming business eventually, and Tony Khan has deep pockets. Impact Wrestling, for what it is, has its own streaming service. New Japan Pro Wrestling, where a lot of the foreigners have come from Ring of Honor. Would it get more people from outside of Japan to sample the New Japan streaming service for them to invest some money in that video library? They could have some bidders for it.
You'd probably get a guy like Vince McMahon who'll buy it and just put it on a shelf so nobody else will have it. You know, when you talk about what's best for business, the thing you always think about is, JFAB, John Cena Sr., don't let the competition get their foot in the door. Take it, buy it, shelf it, use it when you need it.
Well, where subscriptions are kind of stagnant, do you think it's time? Or do you think right now, where it's a Peacock licensed entity, WWE really doesn't care?
I might go along with that last statement.
Yeah.
I recently grabbed Peacock TV because I wanted to see that last Halloween Kills.
Oh! We went and saw that down. You didn't like it?
That's horrible.
Why? What didn't you like about it?
That is the worst movie I have ever seen.
What?
Oh, yeah. And I'm not the only one that said that. Moniz, who's a Halloween fan, her son, Tommy, who's a Halloween fan, talking to people down at Universal, same thing. It was just, they killed everybody off now, basically.
Well, I don't think, did the daughter die at the end?
They're gone. There's only one daughter and Curtis left. That's it. Everybody else is dead. So, you know, my thought is the way it's going to end, hopefully it ends. It's like, see this urn?
Yeah.
That was the power of The Undertaker. If you notice throughout that Halloween movie, the power of Michael Myers was in his mask. Let's see how it goes. I think it's the mask of the house. You think that's going to be the
finish? They're going to take
the mask
his
of the house. That's the only way to destroy him. You notice when they're kicking the shit out of him? He didn't have the mask on. As soon as he grabbed his mask, it was like, whoa, the dead man rises. I mean, listen, he took all these slugs, he took all these beatings, and she stabbed him. And the son of a bitch still got up.
I thought that was a bit of a stretch. But I would not call it the worst movie I've ever seen. I wouldn't call it the worst Halloween I've ever seen.
I'd give it a 4.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I like those movies.
Baby Marty and I enjoyed it. We went on Monday. When you were playing your miniature golf, we went and we saw Halloween Kills after...
at the IMAX Theater on City Walk?
Right on the City Walk.
Oh, let's get back to wrestling.
Who won the miniature golf game?
I believe it was me.
You believe?
I believe, well, I wasn't keeping score.
Oh, all right.
All I know is I won, and the scorecard disappeared.
Doesn't make it, all right.
Yeah, it does make a difference. She got a silver ball, though, so it means she must have done something right.
Well, again, we had the time of our lives that week.
I love it.
It's too bad we didn't get a chance to cross paths where we were basically going when you were arriving. But anyway.
Oh, please God, we're all healthy next year, and we can
do it again. But some sad news, Johnny. Certainly, it has made the rounds in the world of pro wrestling, and it certainly affected us directly with that 20th anniversary event. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, America's hero, going in for emergency surgery, then prostate cancer surgery. We can only send best wishes to Jim. We were looking forward to having Jim and his lovely wife, Deborah, with us on November the 13th. If he is healthy enough and feels well enough and wants to join us in April, we have certainly already extended an invite. We will roll out the red carpet for them, but I think most important is just the man's health.
He's definitely in my prayers. I worked several shows with Jim Duggan, autograph signings with Jim Duggan. You couldn't find a better human being. Upfront, regular guy. God bless Jim. You're in my prayers, and let's hope you come out of this okay. I could see a little worry on his face and Deborah's face when they made the announcement. So please, God, everything goes well.
Well, he's already home, so that's a good thing. He was only in the hospital a couple of nights. I'm not an expert when it comes to the medical when it comes to those things. But I think maybe that's a good initial sign that he was able to go home after a couple of days, no?
Well, it depends upon the stage of the prostate cancer, where it's at, and I guess that was the only reason he was in, was for the prostate. That remains to be seen, what stage it was at. If it's a 4 or a 5, chances are good, but they're not super good. You know, I'm not a physician, but I think knowing in Duggan's case, he stays on top of his health. I'm sure his physicians are the best. And even at a 4 or 5, with the technology and medication they have today, I'm sure he's going to be, you know, fine.
Well, again, hopefully we'll be seeing Jim sooner than later here in the world of Boston wrestling. But more important than anything, we want him to be back to his 100% or as close to it as he can get. He's fought the good fight for a long time. He beat cancer once already back in the late 90s during the Monday Night Wars. And you know, I have a feeling the Vegas odds say that he'll be able to do it again. That's a tough guy.
Amen. Amen.
All right, wrestling fans, right now we're going to take a brief time out. Again, head on over to BostonWrestling.com. Remaining VIP packages and tickets go up $5 beginning tomorrow. Save some money. Get yours now. We'll be back after this brief time out.
Wrestling fans, years have become months that have become weeks, and now we're talking days and even hours as Boston Wrestling MWF celebrates its 20th anniversary, going back to the 90s. Saturday night, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. The superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow will take part in a live wrestling event, autograph photo, fan fest, VIP exclusive Q&A, plus the kickoff to our annual Paul Bear Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. After Jimmy Kimmel embarrassed Melrose for, well, being Melrose, we're also going to have a superstar costume contest where best dressed wins an awesome autographed prize. On November the 13th, you'll see and meet two-time WWE World Champion and Hall of Famer Bob Backlund, WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke, WWE Hall of Famer Alundra Blayze, a.k.a. Medusa, from WCW, WWE Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion Marty Jannetty, the Doctor of Style Slick, Doink The Clown, Duke the Dumpster Droese, Portuguese Man of War Aldo Montoya, plus two-time Impact Wrestling World Champion Die Hard Eddie Edwards, JTG of Cryme Time, John Cena Sr., Oscar of Men on a Mission, AEW's Jora Joe, and more. VIP packages and tickets are on sale now at BostonWrestling.com. We'll see you live November the 13th.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Here's your chance to own a piece of history from the 2020 WWE Draft. On the second night, October the 12th, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Alexa Bliss unleashed hell on Andrade and Zelina Vega. This limited edition 11x14 collector's poster is number 26 of only 50 made, personally signed by both The Fiend and Alexa Bliss, direct from friends at WWE. Comes with certificate of authenticity hologram on the poster itself, suitable for framing. You'll also receive a bonus autographed mystery photo and an on-air shout-out as our thanks to you. Get this ultra-rare autographed Fiend and Alexa Bliss poster now.
Cheer. Why, hello. I would ask what was on your mind, but I already know. You want to know what has got my beard looking oh so majestic. And I'll tell you, it's sexy as hell beard care. Coconut oil, vitamin E oil, almond oil, both sweet and bitter, shea butter, it's all natural. Yes, JTG has actually come out with a high quality product, so support your boy by going to sahbeardcare.com and take one step closer to becoming sexy as hell. Cheer. Ooh, cheer. You know?
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back. Segment 3. Again, I can't believe it, Johnny. It's almost, I feel like a kid at Christmas time. We're just about a week away from our 20th anniversary. An event we began to put together the concept of it in the fall of 2019 is finally happening. I mean, that's just a great feeling in and of itself.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm excited for this 20th anniversary. For two things. Happy anniversary. We did it. We're there. And I'm going to get rid of the garbage.
You're going to do a little pumpkin carving.
Dumpster Dempsey can take out the trash.
Who was going in the garbage first, Zagami or Cage?
Well, Dylan's a friend.
Please. He's a friend.
I told you I walked off the set. If he wasn't going to be there, I wasn't going to be there.
What? Oh, well, you did. Yes, that was.
You got it. It's on video.
Up. You were fired up.
Did you play it yet?
Yes, we did.
All right.
You were
so
fired up.
I'm a man of my word. Let's see what Cage has got in store. I haven't seen his video yet. If he's looking for me, glad to see you.
Well, maybe Elizabeth Warren can give him some advice before the big
loser.
event.
Loser.
Pocahontas.
Oh, please.
But anyway, Johnny, are you familiar with the wrestler known as Danhausen?
No.
We want to send out best wishes to the gentleman. He suffered a hellacious injury. I believe it was on Halloween night. But I'm going to send you a video. I think what you may look at once or twice is the absurd really grows on you. He is kind of almost like a Dracula type character with 100% humor and fun behind it.
Is he a wrestler?
Yeah.
So
he's with Ring of Honor now.
He's not like Gangrel?
Huh?
Is he a Gangrel ripoff?
The polar opposite.
Really?
You're talking almost like the intensity of Gangrel compared to that, remember that serial character that was a vampire? Count Chocula.
Right.
And I'm not trying to say he's trying to be Count Chocula, but he does things in a very funny way. And, you know, with Ring of Honor in the situation it is, apparently this is going to cost him a lot of money. So, you know, if there are fans out there that are fans of his, I know he's active on social media. I'm sure there's various ways they can try and help the cause. But, you know, I'm interested to see what you think of him. I'm going to send you a couple of links, short links, just to see what you think of the personality. Because at first, the first couple of times I hated it. I thought it was absurd. And then he's so good at it. It's like, how can you not like it? So I'm interested to see. I didn't know if you were familiar with him yet or not. But
no, Ring of Honor I don't watch.
He broke his fibula and his tibula, I think. And he had
how'd that happen?
In a match. So he had a rough night at the office.
See, and people say it's fake.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, Johnny, we have to send out best wishes to a good friend of the show's, a man that's been in that very seat, the Hall of Famer himself, the voice of professional wrestling to many, good old JR, Jim Ross, as he has to deal with radiation himself. Skin cancer, I don't know if you can ever say cancer is a good thing, but maybe is the ankle a good spot or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because it's easily removed. I don't know if they're doing radiation for that. Usually that's not required. It all depends upon the stage. All depends on what type of cancer it is. Mm-hmm. You know, one of the words that I hate to hear is that C word.
Yeah.
I cannot believe, and I say this all the time, and the fans will probably, you know, either back me up or not, but with all the technology and great scientific minds we have in this world, you can't tell me that we don't already have a cure for cancer. If we put it out there, too many other people will lose money. You know what I'm saying? Why not do the right thing? Let's get it out there and let's cure this beast. When I do stuff for Make-A-Wish, that's my first cry. We're at war, and we're at war with something that's got a big letter C. We will overcome and we will destroy. But I just don't get it. I don't get it. Isn't Jim going to do cannabis now, too?
He's, I guess, bought land in Oklahoma, and he's
Just
going to open
start a
up a farm, yeah. Is that something you've thought about doing up at Fabulous Estates?
You know what? I can only say this. When I talk about when I talk about investments, that's probably one of the best investments right now. They just built one in Haverhill, Mass.
Did they?
Called Mellow. The average projection for the first year's income, what do you think? Take a shot.
$3 million.
$10 million.
Wow.
So there's
What's
money.
the name of it again?
Mellow.
Is it a
I'm
publicly
giving him a
traded
plug.
company?
Oh, yeah, it's there.
Yes, okay.
And then a fellow who used to promote professional wrestling, I don't know if he's still doing it or not, he's investing in his own warehouse in and cannabis. So there's a lot of money out there. Finally, they legalized it. Thank God they did that. At least people are getting quality.
Now, have you ever partaken in a little medicine?
I have never in my whole life.
Really?
Ever.
Well, I think maybe that's why you and I are two peas in a pod. I don't know about Howard, but...
Well, the number one abused drug in this country is alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Alcohol.
And some people don't look at it like that.
Well, it is. If you do when I teach driver ed, I did a lot of research, and alcohol is the number one abused drug. So when people say, I don't do drugs, if you do alcohol, you're doing drugs.
Yeah.
You're doing drugs. Cannabis or marijuana, whatever you choose to call it, they say it's a form of pacification. It has a healing factor in it. I don't know. I've never done it. Don't want to do it. I guess it gives you that real calm feeling, and who knows? Everybody reacts differently. I just say, thank God, now you're not getting oregano mixed with street grass, and so please God, it's going to work out. Let's hope.
Have you invested in Mellow?
No.
No. Will you invest in Mellow?
No, because I'll tell you what.
Why?
There are those things that I'm in favor of and those things that I'm not in favor of. And even though I say it should have been legalized all along, it doesn't mean I fully support it.
I got you. Well, I'll tell you this. When I travel where it's a legal thing now, I like the TCB oil.
Cannabis oil?
Yeah. You put a couple of drops under your tongue.
That's good.
And it helps my lower back so much.
You see, I'm in favor of that. I'm in favor of that. And it's prescribed sometimes. So, you know what? Just because I don't go with it all the way doesn't mean I don't approve of what can be done when it's handled correctly.
That's what you want. You want
That's
it to be handled with,
Yep, correctly.
Correctly. Well, all right. As I lose my voice, I'm so excited about, excuse me, Johnny, November the 13th. I'm really jumping.
You're losing your voice here. Yeah, voice, it's gone.
Johnny, do you know how little sleep I've had the past month?
Well,
the whole time we were in Florida, other than those Halloween Horror Nights, I had to work trying to replace Jim Duggan. The Berserker's father died. We forgot to talk about that. Ken Nord, we lost him. We want to send our best wishes to the Nords.
Yes.
John, I should send you the...
Mass fam, yep.
I don't know what the terminology is that would be in the nursepaper, but it was
obituary?
It was written by one of his sons.
It's obituary.
Yeah. And it talks about how the Berserker was reading out of the Bible as the father passed. It was very nice.
Well, I know there's a guy who's selling you a seat down there, so don't worry about it.
Oh, please. Well, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised now that you mention it.
He's a snake.
And you brought him in. I ignored him when he tried to come down here to the studio the first time. You brought him in thinking you were going to get a new Virgil. Well, look at what that turned into. We're going to see Saturday night, November the 13th. I know you're lining up your man to challenge Cam's guy for 20 grand, so...
I could lose.
You could.
What happens when I lose?
You're going to be 10 grand out. There goes your money for Halloween Horror Nights next year.
I'll tell you how confident I am.
How confident?
If I lose that match,
yeah,
you'll never see my face again on Boston Wrestling. Ever.
At live events or the talk shows, or both?
Ever see my face on
both?
Anything connected with Boston Wrestling, never do it again, ever.
Really?
If I lose. I'm that confident. And I know Slick's tough competition.
Yeah.
But JTG, Cryme Time, hang on. But I mean what I say, I'll give my word.
Well, I know Dylan Cage wants to be confident that you'll never be seen in Boston Wrestling again, too, according to him, but he means it in a different way, I think.
You know what, Dylan, I don't want to digress. Don't screw with me. Don't start something that you can't finish. Because, brother, let me tell you something. If you touch me, if you injure me, if you attempt to take me out, once I get back on my feet, your scalp is mine.
Why did you ever invite him to the event, Johnny?
Because Dylan Cage is an outstanding athlete. Dylan Cage.
He's a scumbag.
No, he isn't.
Yes,
he's a professional wrestler, and he's
a professional wrestler.
He does what he does
a scumbag.
very well. You know what? There are a lot of scumbags. I'm sure
you're not
we get
wrong about that.
But you know what? You got a few on the list
That's
down
wrong,
there.
But anyway.
Well, but you know what? regardless of what he's done in the past, regardless of how you feel about him, you cannot overlook the talent this young man has and what he brings to the ring. I mean what I say. If I lose, I'm done. If he tries something, guess what? You better make sure you take me out for a while, because when I do get back on my feet, Cage, I'm going to tell you right now, you said it, I'll say it, your scalp and your headdress are mine.
You want his headdress?
I'll
Really?
bring him down. I'll take the very thing that's most precious to him. He's a disgrace to the American Indians, the Native Americans,
Johnny.
if he turns his back on people reaching out to help him. And I've gone out on a limb for him.
I tell you, the only reason that I can accept it to some degree is that he is a 20-year veteran in this organization. It is big. I like to have people around that have been with us a long time. I think that's important. But I wish it wasn't him, because he's scum.
You know what? Sometimes...
Keep him down in the teepee in the wigwam.
No, you know what? You got some scum on that card.
Who? Well, Zagami, but...
Well, you got a few others that I would question.
Yeah.
But Dylan Cage brings something to the ring. He's a great professional, great wrestler. I don't know what he has to say about me. I'll view that tape when I see it.
Oh, it's a hell of a tape.
Okay, I can't wait to see it.
For Reese not to... And you know David Reese, who wants attention, for him to hit the pause button on it really speaks volumes.
Well, Dylan, you know what? I'm responsible for letting the animal out of the cage, if that's the way to put it. I went against what this man wants.
Yes.
I went against what Dr. David Reese wanted. So I guess it's on me. If you flip out, go out, it's on me. I'll tell you right now, I have nothing against you. If you've got something against me and you start something, I'm going to guarantee you, Dylan Cage, I will finish it. And the end, when it's done, will not be pretty. I guarantee you. When I'm finished, you will be zero.
It's the most intense verbiage I've heard since Howard was talking about the '86 Celtics picture.
Just don't cross me.
No.
I've gone out on a limb.
You invited him.
Of course I did. I went out on a limb for him, and I still would go out on a limb for him. I still see the talent. Scumbag or what, you call him whatever you want. He has proud heritage. God bless the American Indians and Native Americans.
No, you're right about that.
We treated him like trash. We raped their women, killed their children, put them on reservations, made them alcoholics and drug addicts, and we gave them nothing. People are talking about, oh, this matters, that matters. Look in your own backyard. Stop tearing down statues and taking things away. It's history. Why can you rewrite it? You don't take things away. We learn from the past. You cannot erase it. I wasn't part of it, but I learned from it. God bless the American natives for what they've done. Taken this, and we've tried to pay back, but we haven't done it the right way. So, Cage, it's not about your heritage. It's about you. About you. One thing wrong. You do it wrong, I'm telling you right now. You want a war? Zagami wanted one. He's got one. You want one? I'm just the guy to do it. Don't cross me.
All right, wrestling fans. Well, we're running out of time on this one. Another buzzworthy Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Fridays. Johnny shares his thoughts even on the great Native American people.
I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. I'm tired of this. We're going with this particular group, that particular group, this group. You know what? You can't say it. You can't do it. You can't. What's wrong with this world?
Yeah.
What's wrong with this world? We're upside down, folks, and if you don't get right side up, hang on. It's not going to be a pretty ride.
Well, fans, if you want to be right side up, believe me, at the stroke of midnight, we will officially be just 1 week away from Boston Wrestling's 20th anniversary, back to the 90s Saturday night, November the 13th. VIP packages and tickets that remain, they do go up at $5 tomorrow. So get your tickets now. We'd rather you have the money in your pocket, because the sooner you get them, the less work it is for us in trying to prepare them. I hope that makes sense. BostonWrestling.com for all the news, notes, places, times, autographs, photos, tickets, anything you need related to the event. That's the place to be. For my partner in crime, John Cena Sr., I'm Dan Marty. We'll be back next Friday night for the pregame show. For our 20th anniversary bash. Until we speak again, you and yours be well, be healthy. Good night from Boston. Wrestling fans, years have become months that have become weeks, and now we're talking days and even hours as Boston Wrestling MWF celebrates its 20th anniversary, going back to the 90s. Saturday night, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. The superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow will take part in a live wrestling event, autograph photo, fan fest, VIP exclusive Q&A, plus the kickoff to our annual Paul Bear Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. After Jimmy Kimmel embarrassed Melrose for, well, being Melrose, we're also going to have a superstar costume contest where best dressed wins an awesome autographed prize. On November the 13th, you'll see and meet two-time WWE World Champion and Hall of Famer Bob Backlund, WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke, WWE Hall of Famer Alundra Blayze, a.k.a. Medusa, from WCW, WWE Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion Marty Jannetty, the Doctor of Style Slick, Doink The Clown, Duke the Dumpster Droese, Portuguese Man of War Aldo Montoya, plus two-time Impact Wrestling World Champion Die Hard Eddie Edwards, JTG of Cryme Time, John Cena Sr., Oscar of Men on a Mission, AEW's Jorah Joe, and more. VIP packages and tickets are on sale now at BostonWrestling.com. We'll see you live November the 13th.